Can you talk through kind of what are the main challenges now while upgrading or kind of changing to this hydrogen dispensing, and how are those overcome?
Well, all fuels are dangerous because they're all combustible because
Yeah,
that's
kind of by definition. Yeah.
by definition, that's how they make an engine work. So you have that danger no matter what, and therefore whether you're making a gasoline dispenser or CNG or hydrogen, you have to put the proper safety into it. Probably the biggest difference when you get into gaseous hydrogen is the pressure differential. In order to get enough energy, into the tank, you have to compress it. And if you look at, to put that in perspective, your gasoline dispenser, or even say like the water at my house, is set to operate at 50 psi. Okay, so we've all cracked pipes, a little bit to let things out. It's not dangerous at all, right? It's not a big deal. When you get involved in hydrogen, and they call it like a NH35 system, or you get in compressed natural gas, then you're at 5,000 psi. So we're now talking 100 times greater. And then if you get into the H70, as they refer to them, the first 700 bar, that's equivalent to 10,000 psi. So really, it's the pressure part of that system that you really got to be concerned from safety. It's not something where a technician is going to go up with a wrench slightly and crack something to let something out, because it's very, very high pressure. So there has to be allowances for that and special fittings. It's not the same type of fitting. In gasoline, the fittings a lot of times aren't much different than plumbing fittings per se. They're special, but not much different. When you get into these high pressures, then you have to allow for that. And then for when you talked about the gas and explosion and all that, the properties are different, right? The thing that you have to be worried about gasoline is gasoline's heavier in air, so it falls to the ground and it goes out above the ground, 20 feet. It still could be dangerous. So you never want to, like, if somebody dumped gasoline on a fire to start a fire at a house, and they walked away 10 feet away and dropped the match, the whole area would light up because the vapor spread. The one nice thing about hydrogen that actually works to benefit is that it's lighter than air. So if it's dissipated in a dispenser, or if you had an issue with the vehicle, it would go straight up, and it literally is absorbed. And the other good thing about hydrogen is it's a good element. So you're not going to have contamination. So that part of it is actually, there's some advantages to hydrogen that way on it. But for safety, we do put, like in hydrogen dispensers, we will put a hydrogen sensor up above right in the top, like they call the valence area, typically where we see our hoses hang down on a fuel pump. And there's a sensor there. So if it detects hydrogen up there, then it would automatically shut down all the electronics in the dispenser.